Self-driving buses are set to carry passengers between Fife and Edinburgh in what's said to be the first trial of its kind.
Coming up in the sport, I'll have the latest from...
They're being described as a world first. The self-driving buses that will soon be carrying thousands of passengers between Fife and Edinburgh. The service, due to launch on Monday, will see computer technology controlling the buses for a large section of the route across the Forth Road Bridge. With more, here's Stephen Gordon.
With a monument to innovation as the backdrop, a first look at technology that aims to revolutionise transport once again. Using onboard computers, this ordinary-looking bus is driving itself across the Forth Road Bridge. On Monday, the service will start carrying passengers as part of a 2-year trial.
The term driverless bus is misleading. As much as 90% of this 14-kilometre trial route will be driven autonomously, but at all times there will be a safety driver behind the wheel ready to take control in case something happens.
In fact, there will be 2 drivers on board, the other's role to be a reassuring face for passengers.
On the rear here is the LiDAR, which is laser beams.
Up close, driver Dave Cronin explains how it works.
There's a camera on the rear, and then down the other side we have a replica. We have the LiDAR, 2 cameras, and on the very front of the bus there's a radar. So the information that the cameras and the LiDAR and radar pick up, they're all fed back into the computer system, which ends up coming through on the CAVSTAR. And this is where we get our information from. How does it feel? I mean, you've been a driver for 40 plus years, and they're asking you to, essentially take your hands off the wheel. That's right, it is. To start with, it was a bit, what's it going to do? But now that we've been driving it for a few weeks, we now have confidence in it, and I'm quite happy to take my hands off the wheel and let it do what it's to do.
The operators expect to carry 10,000 passengers a week between Edinburgh and Fife. The emphasis on testing this developing technology in real-world conditions.
There is lots of development that still needs to take place, but absolutely we believe that the launch of the CAV Forth Autonomous Bus project will change bus operation globally forever.
Ultimately, is this technology safe?
Absolutely. We wouldn't put it forward to carry passengers if it wasn't safe.
A decade of development and millions of miles of testing to reach this point. Many more still to go. Stephen Gordon reporting Scotland.
And let's get tonight.
A third of the country's electricity came from wind farms, according to Imperial College London Research. Now, would you go on a bus with no driver? The first service of its kind in the world is being tested on a public route in Edinburgh. The autonomous vehicle does currently have a human sitting behind the steering wheel just in case, but if it all goes to plan, the safety driver will eventually not be needed. Our Scotland reporter Louise Scott took a ride.
Usually the driver taking their hands off the wheel wouldn't fill you with confidence, but this bus is driving itself. It's a world first, but there is a safety driver on hand while the trials take place.
Safety driver's role just to basically make sure that the vehicle's doing what it's supposed to do. I've been making a joke saying I've been teaching people how to drive buses for the past 5 years, and now I'm having to teach them not to drive the bus. But actually, the level of concentration that they need for this is a lot more in depth.
The technology has been 10 years in the making and will now be used on a public route crossing the Forth Road Bridge with up to 10,000 passengers per week.
The technology itself can react very fast. It's much faster than human reactions. And the sensors, obviously, they can see much more widely than a human. They don't have to, turn their head to look. They've got that instant view of everything. So it's a very safe technology.
The trial runs until 2025, at which point it's expected a safety driver will no longer be required.
How do you feel about boarding a bus that has no driver?
I don't know. I mean, if it's tested, then why not?
Yeah, I'd be frightened to death to go on one of them. Yeah, I think so. I don't think the idea is very good at all.
Maybe if it means people can get places more efficiently and it's a quicker journey, that might be a benefit.
As a passenger, the journey feels very much like you're on an ordinary bus. The only difference is no hands on the wheel. But for now, at least, you'll still be able to say hi and bye to the driver.
They are only in Edinburgh, but they'll most likely be arriving at a bus stop near you in the not so distant future. Louise Scott, ITV News, Edinburgh.
You're watching